Good morning to our beloved teachers and students. Today we want to present fractions, unleashing the power of numerators and denominators.
My name is Jia Hui.
My name is Liang Yi Xi.
My name is Gan Yi.
My name is Sii Yii.
My name is Gan.
Here's our table of contents. The first is introduction to fraction. The second is comparing fractions, and the third is conversation between improper fractions and mixed fractions.
The fourth is addition and subtraction of fraction. The fifth is multiplication of fraction, and the last is division of fraction.
Introductions to fractions. What are fractions? A fraction is a number that describes a relationship between a part, which is represented by the numerator, and a whole, which is represented by the denominator, as shown in the picture beside.
Comparing fraction. Comparing fractions means denominating the largest and the smallest fraction between any two or more fractions. Since fractions are made out of two parts, a numerator and a denominator, they are compared using a certain set of rules. For example, comparing fractions by looking at the numerator and denominator to see which one is lesser or greater. For example, 3/5 is greater than 2/5. Numerator of 2/5 is 2 and 3/5 is 3. As we know, 3 is greater than 2, so 3/5 is greater than 2/5.
So now we're going to talk about the conversation between improper fractions and mixed fractions. Basically, an improper fractions is fractions which the numerator is larger than the denominator, and mixed fractions are a combination of a whole number and fractions. So how should we convert an improper fraction to a mixed fraction? So first we need to identify the improper fraction, which is 7/3 in this case. Next, we need to divide the numerator by the denominator and obtain the quotient and remainder. 2 is the quotient in this case and 1 is the remainder. So what is a quotient? A quotient is basically an answer in a division calculation. So the last step, the mixed number should be written as quotient and remainder over denominator, which is 2 and 1/3.
Additions and subtraction of fractions. Introductions. Additions and subtractions of fractions are arithmetic operations performed on fractions to combine or separate their values. First, we need a common denominator. Once we have a common denominator, we add the numerators while keeping the denominator the same. The resulting fractions is the sum of the two fractions. For example, to add 1/4 and 3/8, we find a common denominator, 8 in this case, and add the numerators. 1/4 plus 3/8 will become 2/8 plus 3/8. The answer will become 5/8. Once we have a common denominator, we subtract the numerators while keeping the denominator the same. The resulting fractions is the difference between the two fractions. For example, 3/4 from 2/3. We found a common denominator, 4 and 3 in this case, and subtract the numerators. 3 over 4 minus 2 over 3 will become 9 over 12 minus 8 over 12. The answer will become 1 over 12.
Multiplications of fraction. Multiplication of fractions. Multiplying fraction is defined as the product of a fraction with a fraction, or with an integer, or with the variables. The procedures to multiply the fractions are: multiply the numerators with numerators, multiply the denominator with the denominator, simplify the fraction if required. For example, as you can see the example here, 2 over 5 and 3 over 4. We will look at the numerator and multiply it to get the total. Same to the denominator. So you can see the numerators for both of the fractions are 2 and 3. So if we put 2 and 3 together is 6, and the denominator is 5 times 4, so it's equals to 20. So if we put it both together in fraction is 6 over 20. As you can see here, 6 over 20 can be divided by 2. So 6 over 20 divided by 2 equals to 3 over 10. Divisions of fractions. Divisions of fractions. The divisions of fraction means dividing a fraction into further equal parts. For example, if you have 3/4 of a pizza left and you divided each slice into 2 parts, you will get a total of 6 slices. But this would represent 6/8 of the total pizza. For example, as you can see, we got 1 over 4 divided by 5 over 4. But the first step is we look at 1 over 4. So we just copy it the same way as 1 over 4, and we change the divide sign into multiply sign. Next, we look at 5 over 4. We flip the 5 over 4 into 4 over 5. So 1 over 4 multiplied by 4 over 5. As you can see, the numerator for 4 over 5 and the denominator of 1 over 4, they are both the same number. So we cut 4 and 4 equals to 1. So we see the numerator is 1 times 1 equals to 1, and the denominator is 1 times 5 equals to 5. So lastly, we got our answer 1 over 5.
Our sharing session will end here. Thank you.